Since 1860, and more recently, in 1972, low-carbohydrate low-carb diets have been a strategy for weight loss. Today, there continues to be an interest in low-carb approaches. While all low-carbohydrate approaches reduce the overall intake of carbohydrates, there is no clear consensus on what defines a low-carb diet. There are 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates 4 grams, fat 9 grams, and protein 4 grams found in food. Therefore, studies have defined low carbohydrate as a percent of daily macronutrient intake or total daily carbohydrate load. We will define it here as very low carbohydrate 10% carbohydrates or 20 to 50 gm a day, low carbohydrate 26% carbohydrates or less than 130 gm a day, moderate carbohydrate 26% to 44%, high carbohydrate 45% or greater. For reference, the Institute of Medicine proposes Americans obtain 45% TP 65% of calories from carbohydrates. 1. This article will review the evidence and effectiveness of low-carb approaches in clinical medicine. You can hardly turn your head these days without seeing new studies that have been done that show the importance of cutting carbs out of your diet. New diet plans are coming out all the time that claim to have the perfect combinations of foods that will magically allow you to lose all of your extra weight without lifting a finger or sacrificing any of the tastes you love so much. Eating low-carb foods sounds so boring and hard, but it doesn't have to. As a registered dietitian, it is my job and my joy to work with people in finding healthy food plans that are the best for them in achieving their health goals. I love sitting down with a client and discussing with them why they have made the decision to see me. Because you see, people have to get to a certain level of desperation and desire to change before they will go out of their way and make room in their tight budgets to see a dietitian. I love hearing people talk about their struggles with weight and with making healthy eating choices. So many people desire to hear the truth about things like low-carb foods, but they have been so misinformed by media. Out of all the things people ask me, the questions I get most have to do with the truth about low-carb foods and about switching to a low-carb diet. People want to know whether or not it is an effective way to live, and if so, how they can do it without making their meals boring and bland. I love having this discussion about low-carb foods because I happen to be a carb lover that has readjusted my eating habits in the past few years. I tell all my clients that an important key to any health or eating program is balance. I tell them that this is why it is unrealistic and even harmful to think that we are doing good for our bodies by eliminating all carbs or all of anything from our diets. The purpose of low-carb foods, which can be great, is to still enjoy the tastes and the health benefits, yes, benefits of carbs while keeping them under control and trying to maintain your health and weight in the process. Find some good information and read up about the truth about low-carb foods if you don't have the time or money to make an appointment with a dietitian. Your health is worth it. Be proactive and learn the truth. You might want to try a ketogenic diet, the new low-carb way. In essence, it is a diet that causes the body to release ketones into the bloodstream. Most cells prefer to use blood sugar, which comes from carbohydrates, as the body's main source of energy. In the absence of circulating blood sugar from food, we start breaking down stored fat into molecules called ketone bodies. The process is called ketosis. Once you reach ketosis, most cells will use ketone bodies to generate energy until we start eating carbohydrates again. The shift, from using circulating glucose to breaking down stored fat as a source of energy, usually happens over 2 to 4 days of eating fewer than 20 to 50 grams of carbohydrates per day. Keep in mind that this is a highly individualized process, and some people need a more restricted diet to start producing enough ketones. Because it lacks carbohydrates, a ketogenic diet is rich in proteins and fats. It typically includes plenty of meats, eggs, processed meats, sausages, cheeses, fish, nuts, butter, oils, seeds, and fibrous vegetables. Because it is so restrictive, it is really hard to follow over the long run. Carbohydrates normally account for at least 50% of the typical American diet. One of the main criticisms of this diet is that many people tend to eat too much protein and poor quality fats from processed foods, with very few fruits and vegetables. Patients with kidney disease need to be cautious because this diet could worsen their condition. Additionally, some patients may feel a little tired in the beginning, while some may have bad breath, nausea, vomiting, constipation, and sleep problems.